In my last video I was in Skegness, one of the worst rated seaside towns in the UK. But today I'm in Filey, one of the best rated seaside towns in the UK. And I'm going to be comparing the two to see why this place has got such a better rating. So let's go explore Filey. So Filey is a seaside town on the east coast of the UK, and just a little bit further up the coast actually than Skegness. So first impressions down at the beach, I think the sand is a little bit better here than Skegness. It's a little bit finer and smoother, less rocks and stones and shells in there. But what I want to do is check out the sea. What is the quality of the water here? Let's go have a look. I'm just walking up onto the sea now, and I have to say it does look pretty picturesque here. And you can have a look at the sand as well. It's really smooth and a lot less shells and stones and seaweed here as well. But let's have a look at the quality of the water. I have to say it does look pretty clear, and I think there's a lot less foam in it here as well, which is a little bit surprising because it's just a little bit further up the coast. But the view from here, you can see that thing there is called Filey Brigg, which is a big narrow cliff area which you can walk along, which I think I'm going to do a little bit later on today. I do have to say, going by the sand and the sea, I think I prefer the beach here. This behind me is the paddling pool, one of the famous landmarks here in Filey, and in the summertime it'll be filled with water and people playing around here. And what a great view you have too. Check that out. You can pretty much see the whole of the beach. You might be able to tell it's a little bit misty. It didn't say that when I checked the weather forecast this morning before I left, but I suppose that's British weather. It's very changeable. I'm just walking along the beachfront promenade area, and have a look how high it is compared to the beach. I'm not sure if it's because the tide gets really high here, but this part is really high up above the beach area. You've got some great beach huts here all along the beachfront, and I wonder how much it is to buy one of these, because it'd be pretty cool to sit out here and look over the sea in the summertime. I want to go have a look at a place called Crescent Gardens, because it's supposed to be a really nice garden area with stunning views across the beach and the bay. Let's go try find it. I think it should be just at the top of this very steep hill. So we've got Crescent Hill, and I think this is Crescent Gardens. Let's go have a look around. Look, you've got a big metal man here, and the sign says Lily's Coffee Bar and Bistro. I don't think this is a bar, but maybe they're the ones that planted these plants and set up this little garden bit. Let me know in the comments. There's a giant bee sculpture there, have a look at that. And there's a beehive just over here. Is that a real one or is that a fake one? Let's have a closer look. I'm not sure if it's real or fake, but there's no bees here. In fact, where do bees go for the summer or for the winter? Okay, so I think this is the seating area where you can get the best views of the beach. We've got a whole line of benches here, and it goes further along there. So let's go see what the view is like from one of these benches. Someone's just left a random mobility scooter there. Whose is that, and where's the owner gone? I think the bench just over there will give me the best view. So let's go take a seat and see what it's like. Here we are. It is a pretty good view from here, although I think better in the summertime. Have a look out there at the Filey Brigg. There's a little rocky area that goes out all the way there, and you might be able to walk along it as well. Let's try do that later on. I've just found a secret garden area. Have a look at this. What's in here? It's just a small little garden with benches. I did spot one of those free libraries just at the entrance where you can take books for free and return them. Is this open? It is. What book do I fancy renting from here? Have a look at that, there's a big well in the middle of this garden. Is this a real one? Let's have a look. Okay, it's blocked off so you can't see, but does this bell ring? No, it doesn't. Have a look at these cool white buildings. I'm not sure if they're hotels or B&Bs, but some of them have balconies and they look pretty cool. Okay, so it's now lunchtime and there's only one thing to get, and that's fish and chips. So if you Google the best fish and chips in Filey, a place called Ingram's comes up. So let's go pay them a visit. And I think it's right here, but it's closed. So plan B was to go to the number 2 spot on TripAdvisor, which is Filey Bistro and Coffee Bar. But it doesn't look to be a fish and chip shop. Right, let's go to the number 3 spot, which I think is called CJ's. And here it is, and it's closed as well. I give up. I think I'm going to have to find somewhere that's open. There's another place here that sells fish and chips. It says it's open 11:30 till, but it's past 11:30 and it's closed. Do people just not eat fish and chips in November in Filey? First catch fish and chips. You guessed it, it's closed. I didn't think this video was going to turn into a fish and chip hunting video, but I think it has. So can I find some fish and chips? It turns out I couldn't, so I ended up going to a cafe called 30. I got a toasted bagel with smoked salmon and cream cheese with a side of coleslaw, and it was pretty delicious. The cream cheese was nice and creamy, and the salmon had a lovely smoke flavour to it. And I got that with a much needed cappuccino, which was pretty delicious as well. Right, let's go check out the beachfront promenade area and see if we've got any amusements or rides or any activities there. I'm just walking along the beachfront and have a look over there. I think those people are, I think it's called paragliding or hang gliding, but it looks pretty fun. And have a look at this. This is one of the famous sights in Filey, the giant fisherman with a fishing rod. And to get a sense of scale of how big this statue is, have a look. It's huge. There's a little mini golf area here, and have a look at that. There's a giant red lobster. Let's have a closer look at it. I've managed to find a fish and chip place that's open, but it's a bit too late. I've already had my lunch. I want to try and get out onto that bit of rock there, right there. Let's try and do it. I think I've reached the main section of the promenade where all the shops and amusements are. There's a big lifeboat station. Got a load of fishing boats here just on the side, and there only looks to be one amusement here. Funland Amusements. There's not much else here, just that one amusement, some shops and bars and cafes, but that's about it. And we're back down to the beach area. I want to get up there, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. Let's try and find out. So I think I need to walk along the beach, and there's a little path just a bit further up that I can walk up. Look, someone's built a sandcastle with a little moat around it. Look at all the people hand gliding up there. Do you think you can rent one of those hand gliders out and do it yourself? He's really close to the cliff, but he looks pretty good at it. I think it's just up this steep hill and then I'm at the top of the cliff. And then I've got to take these stairs. And then these wooden ones as well. And I've made it to the top. Have a look at this. And now I need to walk all along there and then hopefully out to the furthest point there. Let's do it. The beach stretches all along there and around that bit too. It must be a really long beach. Look at these guys. Look at these guys just flying in the wind. It must be pretty cool to do that. It's a pretty big drop from up here. Caution, dangerous cliffs. Let's not go too near the edge. I think I'm getting close to the end now. But what's this thing over here? This big stone. Oh, it's a bench. Right, I think I made a bit of an error. I'm not sure if you can actually get down this bit to go all the way to the end. You might have to just walk just along the seafront there. I think it looks a little bit too sketchy for me to go down this cliff front, so I might have to go all the way back around and walk along the beachfront. Right, I think I might have found a shortcut. There seems to be a little path that goes down the side of the cliff here. I originally thought that I had to go all the way back to that section over there and then go along the beach. But I might be able to get down here. Let's give it a go. Right, change of plan. I've never been here before and it kind of looks a bit sketchy there too. So I'm going to have to go all the way back down that way. Back down these stairs. I've made it back down to the beach. Let's see if we can go all the way to the end from here. So up there was where I was a few minutes ago and I now need to go all the way along to the end. Let's do it. So the light is starting to fade slightly. I'm not sure when the tide comes in, but let's hope I make it to the end before it does. I think I just need to go a little bit further across these rocks and then I'm at the end. I think I'm nearing the furthest point. And I've made it, the furthest point at Filey Brigg. Now let's get back quick. Okay, so this was the dodgy descent from the top to the bottom that I didn't want to go down before. It doesn't look as bad from down here, but from up there it did. I've got a clear path all the way back, so it looks like I'm gonna make it. Look, there's some steps there. I think that's the shortcut that I found halfway along the cliff. I think the tide has come in a little bit because I don't think the sea was that close on my way there. I might have been a little bit lucky, so be careful if you do come here and go all the way to the end. And I've made it back onto the beach. So have I found the answer to the big question from the start of this video? I don't think I have. I think Filey and Skegness are two different types of seaside holiday. So Skegness has got a lot more things to do there. The amusements, the attractions, the rides, the boating lakes. There's loads more to do and loads more things there. But in Filey there isn't. There's pretty much just one amusement that you saw from earlier on, and that's it. Much more of a relaxed and calm affair where you come, enjoy the scenery, take a walk along the beach and just enjoy being by the seaside. They both have their positives and negatives, so I don't think you can definitively say that one place is that much better than the other. Although I do think the actual beach is better here in Filey than in Skegness. Let me know down in the comments which you think is better, Skegness or Filey. Or better still, what type of seaside holiday do you prefer? More of a quiet one like here in Filey, or more of a Skegness type holiday with more activities? If you like the video, click on the thumbs up below. Click on subscribe if you want to come along for the next adventure. And I'll see you in the next video.